I think it doesn't.
It's time.
This is all being recorded, right?
It fades out.
Oh, nice.
You knew right when to fade it out. That was perfect.
Yeah, no, it went on a little
Right
long.
when-
I don't know.
All right.
That was good.
So,
Yeah. Hello, everybody. It's Handsome in the Dark.
yeah, we're back. Handsome in the Dark's back.
Yeah. We're back from last week.
Yeah, at Sick Monkey Studio.
Sick Monkey Studios, where people's dreams get sick and die.
I felt like there was something I wanted to say at the start of the episode, but I can't remember what it is.
Right,
Oh,
we
yeah, it's
have
episode 69.
Episode 69.
Hey,
We have
yeah.
a special guest, Chloe.
Yeah, Chloe, you might remember me talking about her in the first episode. If not, go back and listen, and we'll wait.
Chloe.
I'm here for episode 69.
She's here for episode 69.
For a reason.
Yeah, I paid Chloe to have sex with me.
Mm.
And I talked about it.
That's how we know of her.
Yeah, we got her. We're paying her.
Yeah,
For her time.
We got to her.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, thank you for having me.
We
Yeah.
are.
I am.
Okay.
I got her for the whole night, so you can only go so many times.
Yeah.
Right, babe?
Right.
Yeah, right.
You overpaid for hours, and you're like, "Oh, I guess we'll do this now."
It's like, I need a guest on my pod.
Yeah.
You get a special the more hours you get.
Right. There's a discount,
Mm.
obviously.
I've heard you guys talking about your dicks a lot, and I just want to say that I think it takes a lot of vulnerability and courage to do that, and I believe that with your dick stories, you are dismantling toxic masculinity.
Oh,
And,
thank you.
and
you
and
very
that these
much.
are actually feminist stories.
So do I have to pay you extra because you said that, or
No,
is that included?
I included that in my services.
Did that make it? That wasn't a very good joke, was it?
No, that was great.
That's a really nice thing to hear, but it kind of makes me feel ashamed for not talking about my dick more.
Right.
You know what? Let's give you a chance. Tyler's dick. Where have you been? Don't you choke yourself when you were whacking off Tyler's dick?
So today I had to go into an outhouse, take a poop. Very hot outside, as you know. It's a hot one out there, folks. It's a hot one. And, you know, sometimes you peel in an outhouse and you're so covered with work sweat that it's hard to even get your pants off. You know, everything is stuck to you in every square inch. And including like my dick, I couldn't find it. It was stuck inside my body somehow with sweat.
Yeah. You're like, I don't remember wearing this many pairs of underwear this morning. What's
Happened
going on
just
down
today.
here?
True story.
Yeah.
I've witnessed these inversions before.
Yeah. It inverted. Me.
Yeah.
Inverted. So have you ever had to how do you get
From
it
heat,
out?
not cold.
Yeah.
But
I get sweaty at work, it's pretty. Chloe, do you have a story about having to retrieve a man's penis from being so flaccid that it was inside of him?
It went
Like in the jungle, like digging through
inside.
foreskin?
Yeah, I mean, the one that comes to mind just happens to also be the smallest penis I've ever encountered.
Are you talking about me?
But I don't want to dick shame anyone
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
because I find these beautiful as well.
Right.
That's good.
Yeah.
Right.
It was just an experience. I was like,
Right.
okay, well, I just slide around on this.
Right. So the penis was so small that you couldn't
like-
really experience
you
penetration.
just-
Well, this particular gentleman hadn't like trimmed his pubic hair. And so it was quite a large bush.
He should have thought about that.
And hard, it came flush with the surface of the pubic hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like finding a piece of macaroni in the fur of a Shar-Pei.
It's
I had a mouthful of water. I would have laughed quite hard at that.
exactly like that.
Well, I loved this penis like I also love the clitoris on women.
Mhm.
So
Right.
Yeah.
Similar.
all shapes and sizes it takes.
Yeah.
So if you were to take like penises in general, if we're diving into dick data,
Mhm.
Dick data.
do you
data.
feel like so most dicks are average size, right? Like between 5.5 and 6.5 inches, right? So do you think the amount of gigantic dicks you've seen have made up for the amount of tiny dicks you've seen? It all works out to approximately 5.5 inches each penis?
No, it skews smaller. like the gigantic dicks I've seen are like maybe like 0.5%.
Oh yeah, but small, like tiny dicks. Do you think that maybe that's because guys with bigger dicks have more confidence?
Could be.
They definitely cannot wait to whip it out. It's like you can just see it in
It's
them.
understandable. I
They
get it.
can't wait.
I mean, every guy I know with a big dick, I know for a fact has a big dick because they show it a lot.
I feel like I've seen similar things on spring break videos where the girls with the biggest breasts like to get them out of their shirt as much as possible as well.
Whoops.
Yeah,
It feels better when you have a bigger thing that's trapped by clothing.
For ladies, that's very obvious as soon as you develop those breasts. For guys, it's sometimes you're not necessarily looking at other dudes' dicks. And it takes pornography or, eventually you discover at one point, you're like, my dick is biggie. This is a big dick.
Yeah.
And that's
You got a
moment.
biggie, bro?
No, I think it's medium strong.
Medium strong.
Yeah.
Maybe later Chloe can tell you what she thinks.
I have I don't want to make this claim, but I feel like I have a pretty good like judge. I can tell almost the size by looking at a man.
Okay,
Now
so
It's like a
that's
superpower.
let's go around.
No.
We're going to have our first segment and you're going to tell us approximately the size. You don't even say like big, small. Like it can be like average, like 5.5, 6.
You're setting me up to fail.
Well, you've already seen my penis.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
average.
curious, though.
Yeah.
We've all seen each other's penis, but maybe you haven't. So
what do you
it'll
think
be
about
interesting
Saul?
because we'll all know the answer, but you won't.
Yeah, this is fun. This is a good segment.
Okay.
I had to pay her extra to listen to the other episodes of Handsome in the Dark, by the way.
Well, okay.
I had to pay people to do that too.
Okay, so am I saying like inches or like shape?
Why don't you say both?
Yeah, maybe both.
Whatever
That's interesting. I
comes
didn't
to
think
your
about shape.
heart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shape.
I like this game. I think it's funny.
Yeah,
Start
it
with
is
me.
funny.
What do you think?
Well, I know.
Okay.
What did you think before?
Still describe it.
What did you think before? Yeah, when I came in and took a shower and I had the towel on for a second.
Yeah.
That first time we met.
Well, it's exactly what I expected.
Right.
Right, because
Okay.
you have mad skills in this
Yeah.
department.
Okay.
Right.
Well, on to Saul then.
Let's
I
do
feel-
John first.
Okay.
Looks to me.
Can
About
I see your hands?
Nice.
Okay, I think yours is like thicker.
And how long? Give us size, like girth, you think? And
I think maybe like this, or even bigger. Yeah.
and then length.
There's no way to
Right.
confirm any of this.
Well, John's an honest man.
No,
Yeah.
I'm happy to include that in my services as confirmation.
Right.
So John has to
very
get
nice.
an erection. Okay. Let's just
It might be more comfortable not to get an erection because then you can say maybe you're a grower.
But if he was comfortable with whipping out his flaccid dick, then we know it's big. Nobody's whipping out their soft ass wiener in
You
front of a
whip
chick
out
they
your
met.
dick?
On camera.
It's pretty soft right now.
Yeah. Let's not do that. Let's just go with the theoretical.
Let's just
John,
let's just
how
speculate.
accurate was she?
Very accurate.
Yeah. And length. Let's give a length.
Length. I think like
You do it with your hand.
Just
I think like here.
I would call that probably about 6.5 inches. Like to there.
is that hard?
Close enough.
Yeah,
That-
actually,
that's
Yeah?
hard.
it looks small when you do that, but it looks kind of bigger.
I
when you
thought
do
it looked
that.
bigger with like that. Like I was like, that's a huge dick. But then when I did that, I was
can
like,
rotate.
Huh.
I do have big hands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Show it to the camera. Is
So
what,
what,
you
what
gotta
do
do.
you? So
I've said this on the pod before. I can almost get a toilet paper roll tube on my.
we did talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
once.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so Chloe's 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go next. I
Tyler's
guess.
up next.
This
Okay.
is uncomfortable now.
Yeah. I feel
Do you want to see
uncomfortable.
my ants too, or
We didn't ask him
Are
if he was
you-
okay.
something else?
Are you uncircumcised?
Well, that's what you're supposed to answer.
You're uncircumcised, and I think there's like a somewhat of a dome shape happening.
A dome.
I'm seeing this.
okay.
like the microphone tip, like that type of dome shape.
And saggy balls.
I disagree with that guess. I kind of feel like your balls
A
are
tight
tight,
ball?
and I
The
feel like you
tight
got a
balls?
bit of a fucking
Been a while
pylon.
since you've seen him.
Been a long time.
Been a while. A little older now.
I actually don't think I have a clear memory of exactly
Either
what
of
your
your
penis
guys'
looks
dicks.
like.
Oh yeah, we saw your dick a whole
I don't-
bunch recently though. Anyway, go on.
Right. I didn't.
oh,
you know.
probably.
Howard and so
Anyway.
give a girth and a length.
Yeah. girth
Okay,
and length,
I think
guess. Yeah, sure.
I think girth.
Yeah. She has long fingers. She has
I
long
have
fingers.
very long fingers. Yeah.
What does that mean?
Is that? Are you
That's
mimicking
pretty.
mine?
Yeah,
or-
I'm trying to. Yeah,
Like her
I'm
fi- her
I think
fingers are like the
I
length
think
of
so.
mine.
I think so. That's
like,
pretty good. That's too small. No.
No. Yeah. It was
yeah.
More towards
Yeah,
the
yeah.
top.
Okay.
Of the mic.
And then length.
length.
Where I'm like, slide it up. I gotta use my microphone as a.
Another.
it's a-
You know,
another
You know what's gonna happen at the end of this?
6 inch or 8, right?
I. Okay. I think. Like.
That's pretty good.
here.
What's that? That's-
I think that's a little small, personally.
Yeah.
Like, so do it on my hand. Put on from here to here. Where does it go?
To here.
Really?
Yeah. Am I wrong? Tell me I'm
Yeah.
wrong.
Well, the thing is like, I want to feel good how wrong you were about almost everything, but it doesn't make me feel good at all.
Do you know what? I love
this
being
is a dangerous game.
surprised.
The circumcision wrong.
Yeah.
Girth.
Okay,
You were actually,
I'm-
the first girth. That was pretty accurate.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
1-0.
One. Yeah.
But the length, I'd say, is pretty average. Like,
Yeah,
That much.
that's the thing though. It's like,
Okay.
oh, it turns out all the guys at the table have average dick size. It's
I
like,
guess
well,
that's where this is
yeah.
going. Well, then
Right.
again, we
You
do
know,
have this.
Although
you do seem like an uncircumcised guy.
That's weird.
If I had to guess, I would assume you were
Yeah.
not circumcised, and I thought that was a pretty safe
Don't I
guess.
look like French, Irish, kind of like?
Dude, look at me. Do I look French and Irish? Kind of a lot,
You actually
right?
do, yeah.
So, and I'm not
That's-
circumcised,
that's
so
true. That's true.
Yeah. Yeah, I knew
That's
that
true.
you were circumcised, so I don't picture anything but that when I look at you and imagine you naked.
this is the most feminist segment we've ever had because we're talking about our dicks.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm
Ah,
saying,
yeah.
though?
I think we.
Chloe!
Chloe.
And why I think it's feminist for those who may be confused as to what misogyny is
Yeah.
because for men who have toxic masculinity, they always want to be seen as virile, having very hard, being very adequate and able to perform
Mhm.
constantly. And so when men talk about maybe falling short or failing and not producing in that way or not being adequate in that way, that's feminist.
Yeah, totally.
All right, how about Saul's dick?
I feel like Saul has a long, pokey one.
Long and pokey.
Like one that would like poke my cervix.
Yeah, you get cervix punch.
Yeah.
Long and pokey.
I don't-
Yeah, let me think. I mean, I don't think it's
Yeah.
I don't think it's like crazily longer than most dudes' dicks, but it's maybe a
It's
bit.
pretty long,
It's a
dude.
bit longer.
It's
I think it's a
long.
bit longer.
It's pretty. I mean, I saw it flaccid, and it was pretty surprisingly big flaccid.
It's probably 7 inches.
Yeah.
It's probably
Like
7.
so on my hand.
It's as much as I can stretch.
Oh yeah, that's that's
it's
pretty
like-
big.
As much as
That's
yeah.
pretty big. Let
It's
the
probably
record
even
show.
bigger than that.
My
I think.
hands are.
I don't
big.
think no, it's not bigger than that.
No,
it's not
You
bigger
really-
than
if
that.
you
It's as
press
much.
that into
You
the
know.
bottom.
Well, that makes sense.
That's
I
pretty
know.
big.
I know. When you're a teenager
Yeah.
and you keep measuring as you get older,
Yeah.
and all you
Yeah.
have is your like. I could bring out a ruler, but it's never something I planned. So it's your hand, right?
Yeah.
You pull out your hand.
Yeah,
and you're
mine's like to like here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Mine's to the tip of the.
And I
finger,
don't stretch quite that
Yeah.
hard. You know, I
It's
like
there,
I cheat a little.
but it's not past there.
That's
It's not
pretty
past,
big
it's
though.
Not past there.
I wish I knew we were gonna do this because I would have told you accurately what it is.
If I
but-
Right, the
if
hand.
I pushed my bottom hand like down like into my fat there, like my fupa, I can fit 2 hands on it, and like
I think
it
that's
doesn't quite
FUPA
come out the
reference
top.
number 2 on the pod.
You know, so
by
it's
the
like
way.
So yeah, it's long. I think that it's averagely thick. I don't know. It's definitely
sounds,
I
long,
don't
kinda
want-
long. Sounds like she nailed it to
it's
me.
pretty good.
Long and pokey. It's not super girthy,
long and
but it's like
pokey. Circumcised or uncircumcised.
It's girthy enough.
I feel I mean, I've met your parents.
And
So
you've
I
seen
feel-
their penises.
Same style.
I feel like maybe you're uncircumcised. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because, but that's just because I met your parents.
So
They
on the
didn't
uncircum-
vaccinate me.
Yeah, they did. They also did a couple vaccinations I didn't get. I got one of them after I caught the thing I was not vaccinated about. Then I got vaccinated and got sick. But like about the uncircumcised thing, getting with girls when I was a teenager and into my early 20s, there was only one time when a girl was like really thrown off by the fact that I wasn't uncircumcised. It was like because she had never come across it before. And I threw me off.
Yeah.
I was like,
you're like, what the hell?
I was like, this is my penis. This is what it looks like.
What is that?
Yeah.
It's my penis.
He's like, why is there extra there?
It's never made a difference to me ever.
I've also
Yeah.
met girls who are just like either don't care at all, and a couple of them have been like, I prefer it because it's a little smoother feeling for them or whatever.
I don't feel the
Yeah.
difference.
You don't feel a difference. That's fine.
Unless it's in my throat.
Right. Well, that is.
And how does it feel different in your throat?
Well, because there's a little like dangly thing, so I gag faster.
A little dangly
That's
thing?
not good.
Like it's like the skin touches my gag.
Oh, well, like when it's like over the head? Because when it's erect, usually it's like it's barely there.
Yeah, I find. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
everybody's different, but
I'm not always dealing with hard dicks.
Oh, right.
Right.
Sometimes you got to suck a soft penis.
Yeah.
well, that's no good.
Often.
Right.
Or every time, if you will. I mean, at first. Usually, right?
I mean, I think I like.
I think everyone here who's had their dick sucked has gone from soft to hard at least once.
Yeah, but
during
I-
that.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
I would say at least 35% of dicks I suck don't ever really fully get hard.
Yeah. As
And I think
clients,
that's important information for men who maybe feel self-conscious that they can't get fully
Yeah, people
hard.
need to know. I spent most of my sexual experiences not like things going wrong and I got older. Last 5, maybe 10 years, it's like I'm usually maintaining my boner most of the time. But
Yeah,
like,
it's like
most of the time,
yeah.
learning it was like everything was fucking up.
it was nerves.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nerves.
And also it's like, and I also used to have like a cum fast problem too, which is also
Sometimes
really,
that was
now
a
that I'm
problem.
older, it's like, it's not a thing. It's not like,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
like
You can
it's
hold
like
it
I can come fast, but I'm not like, oh,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, there were times once I got comfortable with a lady, then I would have a problem where I was really having a hard time. It was like
Yeah.
2 minutes in, I was like, okay, I got to pull out.
Yeah,
We gotta
like, I
take
need a second, yeah.
Yeah. So it was, it's not easy to find that groove. It does get better as you get older, though. It really does.
Since I'm a smoker, I find that, the last couple times I've banged, it hasn't been many, but all I do is cough on them the whole time. That can't be pleasant. Just
My arms get really sore if I'm on top.
Yeah, that.
And I don't understand. And it's like, I'm kind of fat, so I don't want to like lay on you or her. I don't want to like lay on her. So I feel like it's like, I don't know. I don't want to lay on her. I don't want my arms up. It's like, I'm kind of like, sometimes I'm like, oh man, I'm like, should I just come? Because I'm having like, it's struggling.
Yeah.
I always feel like, it's kind of like I'm showing up at the track meet.
Yeah.
And I have to perform.
Yeah.
And
It's endurance training.
Yeah, sometimes you're in a position
so I
that's
don't go
actually
to track
really.
meets.
Yeah, that's why.
For the record, I would like for segments where you're telling stories about sex work to be referred to as skort stories.
Skort?
stories.
What does that mean?
Skort, like an escort.
Oh, skort.
And it sounds like short stories. And so it's real cute,
Skort stories.
Skort. It's also a dress that's also
Well, that
shorts.
that's what I thought at first. Yeah.
So, Chloe,
Skorts.
if you lined up all the dicks you've ever seen, how far would that line go?
How many elementary schools back to back would that go?
Now let's try to
Canadian elementary
I'm gonna
schools?
pull out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull
No,
out
A calculator.
a calculator,
Okay.
and we're gonna assume every dick. We're just gonna call every penis
5.5.
5.5 inches.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
So let's say in a year, how many customers do you have?
I mean, I took a 7-year break.
Right.
So I would say total years worked would be 3.5.
3.5. Okay. Times how many dicks?
I see maybe per week, like 15.
Right, but some of those are return customers, I assume.
Yeah,
that
so,
shouldn't matter,
So
though.
those don't count.
It doesn't need to
Well,
be
no,
new
because
dicks.
then every person, it's like if you saw your husband's dick every day, you've seen a fucking huge line of dicks.
Yeah,
Right, that's true.
most
Gotta be
of
individuals'
mine are
penises.
returned
That's a
because
good
I don't
point.
It is
advertise
a good point.
anymore.
But it could be hard to calculate unique dick hits.
Unique dick hits.
So let's
I would-
it is hard. So let's say like
a lot of
conservatively.
guys return to me because I'm amazing.
I know. They're
That's
probably
just
upset
muddy.
that you're working tonight here.
Yeah.
So
That muddies the numbers, right?
It does muddy the numbers.
okay, well, why don't you just throw out a number that's fake? Because who cares?
Okay, well, controlling for returns. Let's just say 5 unique dicks a week.
Okay, so
That's
5 a
very good.
week. So 5 times 52.
Mhm.
5 times 52 equals 2. You're not working 52 weeks out of the year. So
No,
how many
I'm
weeks?
working maybe 48 weeks out of the year.
Yeah, so
Times
the 8 weeks
48
vacation, that's pretty
equals 240 times
3.
good. I mean, my math is
3.5
terrible.
equals 840 times 5.5 is
4,620 inches.
4,620 inches.
Yeah, how many feet is
Feet
that?
is that? That
Something-
doesn't seem
it's-
like
how's
that
that-
much.
It's between a 16th and an 1/8 of a mile of dick.
Is it?
I to be fair to me, I feel like we should count returns because I
I-
still take the dick.
Yeah, I think it counts.
Okay,
I
sure.
think it counts.
Sure, but then somebody that's had sex, it's like every
So
day.
instead it's 15 instead of 5.
Yeah, but they're not your partner.
It's
like that.
355 feet, which is actually pretty far. Kind of a lot of dicks.
Yeah, but what if we did it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was,
Okay, so let's
it's
do it.
triple.
So it would be
It's
triple,
triple.
right? So
Yeah.
times 3. Yeah, so that's
That's still under
13,
a half mile.
860.
It's about a quarter. It's about a quarter
it's like
mile.
About a quarter mile.
About a quarter mile dick.
Babe, you've
That's-
seen a fucking quarter mile.
Quarter mile.
You
quarter
ain't
mile.
ever done a
I'm
quarter
got-
mile in about 3.5 years.
Well, that pussy right there, it's seen a quarter mile dicks.
I thought it would be more, honestly.
That's pretty far. Like each dick's
I was
this
like
big.
Yeah, it's not very
easy to
far.
the moon and back.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it feels like.
That's a lot of dicks.
subjectively.
Emotionally, it feels that far.
If you counted every thrust,
Every
then,
thrust. I was
every
just going to
thrust.
say
every
that.
thrust,
Every
it's
thrust.
in and out, then
That's
I
like
think
a
Definitely goes
logarithm now.
definitely to the moon.
How many thrusts average per dude? Is there some people who are just a few thrusts?
Yes.
Just like
Huh.
yes.
the best
Under 10?
customers.
But then
Yeah.
the guys, generally guys over 50 are like, they milk every minute
right,
in the most infuriating way.
right.
Like they
Like-
just like hang out and touch you.
Yeah. And then just like slowly like gyrate for like the whole time. And it's like, I'm literally lying there looking at the ceiling, like, please. Like,
Well, they're slowing down and they're taking it all in. I get it.
yeah.
That's because
You
it's
know?
hard to fuck. They're over 50,
And
man.
they're just, it's a state of mind thing. I
They're
think.
trying to romanticize themselves with you.
They're like, it's a nice
It's
day.
kinda
Let's open the
masturbatory
windows,
In that
take
way.
our time, you know.
I mean, you know, I've had a couple of experiences and
How were they for you?
not like that. I
Did you
guess.
get multiple hours?
Sure, I've paid for that. Yeah.
Yeah. And how was that experience for you?
You know,
Nice.
yeah, it was fine. It was like a date, I guess, at the end of the day, really.
Yeah. Guys that book multiple hours generally want like
Yeah, nice time.
like a
yeah.
connection.
Time to lead up to
Hang
it.
out, maybe
That's
have a
what
couple
happened.
drinks.
We
I've never
talked,
done the multiple
you know.
hours, but yeah, it sounds actually pretty nice. It's like kind of a
Does
nice
kinda
way to
sound
spend
nice.
a night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of.
I prefer that over like a bunch of back to back,
Yeah, I
like
could see
short. Yeah.
Right, of course.
that. Scored stories, gonna have to write a song.
Yeah, I'll write a song. Score stories.
Score stories, dig data. Okay, well, cool. So let's do a vote. Who put your hand up if you think that Chloe guessed your dick pretty good?
Yeah, well, yeah, she did.
Let's-
She did.
One,
Sorry, I was
two,
like busy looking at other
2 out of
people.
3.
Yeah, I think it was pretty accurate.
Pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
And
You
I'm
only
not
said
I'm
lo-
not lying by not putting my hand up because
I
guys
believe
know.
you.
I know that it
believe you.
wasn't. I knew that it wasn't accurate. Yeah, 2 out of 3. You know,
I mean,
but for the record, usually it's like, and like I said, I lost it in myself earlier in an outhouse.
Right, you did say
Yeah,
that.
well, it does that.
And I needed it too. And
You need to.
but I really
It's showtime.
Like it can grow.
Oh, it's insane.
Like, big grower.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane
Growing,
how
yeah,
much
growing.
my dink. Like, remember that other day you saw my dink when I was taking a pee, and you were like, "What the hell?" I thought it was way smaller.
Oh, yeah.
You were
Whoa,
like, but it's
yeah.
like,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
like that was a good dick moment. Like I had a good dick moment, and I made it a little bit more visible to you than I would have if it was like.
Yeah.
That's right.
And that's why
You did it on
you were like,
purpose.
"Ooh, Chris." You know what I'm saying?
In
I
other
did do it
words-
on purpose.
Sometimes if you're with friends,
Show him your dick.
your friends,
Mm-hmm.
then flash your friends with your dick or whatever. Just flash them.
Yeah.
I agree.
I support
I
this.
agree.
But only when you're looking your
flash
best.
you. I didn't flash you. I made it so that if you had chosen to look at it, you could. So really, it was 50-50.
That's what they call invasive respectful.
consent.
You threw out some bait and, you
picked it up.
I
Yeah.
fucking picked it.
That's good.
You threw out the chum and he took a bite. Or whatever.
I wish I had taken a bite of that chum.
Cool.
Chum.
Does anybody else have any statements or segments or anything that they would like to add at this point?
I have a conspiracy theory.
That's great. Let's hear
Is
it.
it about penises?
That's fun. Is it like your own?
It's
that you
kind of
made up?
serious though. It's not like funny.
So this is a hard.
I'm curious.
Okay, what do you think? What do you think?
Now for
Okay.
something completely different.
So we're in the heat wave.
Yeah.
All right. And the journalists, they're all saying, this is going to be the hottest thing. This is already breaking the records. The hottest summer on record. The hottest summer on record. Okay. Over and over.
Okay.
We've heard, we've heard the news.
Mm.
But okay, I'm a weather nerd kind of at home on the internet. I'm a nerd. So I'm always looking at the weather sites. And up until about a couple of years ago, Environment Canada was collecting data from every single like weather station around the country they could possibly get historical data from. So they were starting to add weather data from like the 1800s and stuff. And it was cool, right? So you could look at historical weather data. So when you click on the fucking webpage to go to Pitt Meadows, what's the weather here today? And you click on historical weather and it would always tell you like, it would go back to like 1880, back when they started recording it.
That's pretty cool.
But a couple of years ago, they changed it. So they severely limited the amount of historical data available. Now in Pitt Meadows, for example, it goes to 1990 to now.
That's not very long ago.
And in Vancouver, it goes from 1937 until now. That goes for Chilliwack, Abbotsford, Lillooet, Lytton, and inside the interior. 1937 is like the earliest date now.
So the conspiracy is
What is
is like the,
Here we go.
the Guinness Book of World
Here we go.
Records.
The biggest heat wave in the last 100 years happened in 1936 in this region. And it was 45 degrees here.
I'm sure information is publicly available. We could go back to
Not
1936.
Not through Environment Canada.
You don't have to go through Environment Canada.
You don't have to, but they took the information down.
Okay.
And now when the CBC journalists and whatnot report on stories like this, they say, well, according to the recorded data, it's the hottest summer we've ever had. And it's like, no, but 2 years ago, you took out 50 years of data.
Maybe
I'm not hearing the
yeah.
conspiracy.
The
What it sounds like is
The
you're saying that
conspiracy
journalists
is that the
are
Trudeau
idiots.
government is,
well, they
doing it all.
maybe they're
It's all the
trying
Trudeau
to,
government. That's the conspiracy part.
Fucking Trudeau.
Yeah, that's Fidel, Castro.
Yeah. Maybe they're just trying to add credibility
Junior.
to their, exaggerated story. They don't want people to look back and be like, hey, wait a minute, it's not really breaking records. I mean, it's still like been a really long time since we've had this heat,
It's been a long time since we've had this heat, but it's also not been that long. I mean, the last time we had heat like this was about 2007. In fact, it did hit 37 degrees here.
I remember
In
that. That was
2007.
fucking
Right.
hot that year. Yeah.
It's hot.
Well, was it in June though? Because that does seem different
could
to
be
me.
could be June, could be
Yeah.
July. I don't know.
Like I could see that it being breaking a record for late June. I could see that because, like, for me, I always pay attention to
I know
June.
what you mean.
Like June's usually kind of
yeah.
rainy. It doesn't ramp up until mid-July.
Yeah,
So that
usually
could be
June's
it.
shitty, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's usually kind of freakish nature too, right? Like usually it's like, this is the worst June ever, and it fucking rains, like cold winter ass shit.
It does do that a lot.
A lot, and that's freakish weather too. Where it's like it's cold.
Yeah,
it's
you're like, I thought we were in
degrees,
May.
you know? Like,
May's often really good. In June, it starts. It showers and it's kind of shitty, and the temperature goes down.
I'll reserve any judgment I have against climate change. That's what they call it these days, right?
John, you work for the government.
I do not work
What's
for the
going on
John,
there?
yeah, what do they call it? Do they call it climate change?
Do they call it?
No, it's now called a climate emergency.
Manufactured
Like
weather.
emergency, I guess.
Sure, that sounds good. I also don't work for the government, so I don't know.
So you say.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
But here's another part of my whole conspiracy. I make these things up in my head, by the way. I don't look at fucking videos of anyone.
Yeah, that actually makes me like it more.
It's all my sick
Yeah,
mind
that's
here.
true. Your own conspiracies. That's
So
good.
you have your own videos?
I'm making one right now.
You should make your really crusty ones where the camera is shaking and you're talking
so
right
when you
into
cut,
it.
so when you cut this part, be sure to send it to Tyler.
Yeah.
It's a small part of it, but I mean, this was several years ago in America, and they were doing like a climate change debate in Congress, and one of the Republican congressmen like went outside and got a snowball.
Yeah, that was
like,
funny.
It was like Washington D.C. in April or something like that. I can't remember exactly what month it was, but it was a late snowfall for that year.
It happens in April,
whatever, and it does happen, and he was like, "See, this is proof that."
You did throw it in the face of a congressman he doesn't like.
And everyone's like, well, that's idiotic because that's one weather event and that doesn't prove anything. But now what I'm seeing is this whole push to prove climate change is an emergency because of this one weather event.
Right.
And that I can't buy it, especially when they're, like I said, cutting 1937's where the history starts, not 1936 when we had the last big hate wave.
Yeah,
what the fuck is going on?
Sorry. No. Our inclination as humans is
like I said,
only
it's
really,
not even funny.
Like we.
You did say that.
I'm just kidding.
No, but it's true.
It's funny if you laugh at me.
If we experience a hot week or two, and it feels like the hottest thing we've experienced in the last few years, our memories aren't that great, and we're kind of like, most people are inclined to believe it's like, especially with global warming in our minds, we're kind of just like, is this what's happening? Is it global warming? Is it getting really hot? Has this ever happened before? And most of us are too lazy to actually look into it, right?
No, I was thinking about this today because I went to work and I was wearing coveralls and it was baking, but I was fine. I wasn't sweating, and I think this is the first time I've ever enjoyed this kind of heat.
Right. So global warming not real.
I didn't say that.
Well, here you have it, John.
Yeah, he's like, I was out in the sun and I felt I-8. So that's good.
Here's what I have a problem with, and I'm sorry, but maybe this is my corner. This is my segment right now, the conspiracy theory weather thing.
The conspiracy corner. We can do that.
Here's another fallacy I've seen pushed out there a lot. It's maps of this local area here in Greater Vancouver, and they say these are the areas that will be flooded from climate change. And they always show like the flood plains, like down Lower Poco down here, the flats, and Delta, all these areas, right?
Of course.
And I'm thinking, okay, well, those areas used to flood all the time before we got here and built dikes,
right?
Controlled the flooding. We terraformed the land in order to work with it and the climate at the same time. So to me, it's not that I deny climate change, but I am looking at different solutions than what I'm seeing in the general public, the media in general. Even, people call me conservative because I don't go along with all the left-wing views. But like, if I go conservative, I don't see shit on climate change and at all. And I want to see practical solutions, like the shit they did
taller
in
dams.
Sweden and Norway, they terraformed their whole country with dams and locking gates of water. And
did they? That's cool.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Those countries are pretty advanced in certain ways.
So if the water level is rising as we know it has been for a long time, way before the Industrial Revolution, not to sound like a crazy person, but
okay,
there's practical solutions. All right, let's move on.
Yeah, no, it's good. I like hearing about.
I feel conflicted. I feel conflicted on your conspiracy theory, but I feel like I respect what you're saying, you know? Like I feel it's like I gotta like sleep on it, but I feel like it's like all right, you feel that way, and you have a reason to feel that way.
Which aspect
which I
exactly
feel like
of
you
his
that.
conspiracy theory? The
I like the practical solution
So
thing.
they're
It's
like-
like, oh, if the water is rising, let's have some practical.
Like what I'm
solution.
trying to outline is like how we're being lied to, I guess.
Yes.
And I think we all know that anyways. So it's not like news. But there are people who are in positions of power who like they justify their lies because it's for the greater good. And I just don't support shit like that.
Yeah, I
know?
think that there is a fair bit of that. I know that a lot of my friends really that is the thing they complain about is it's like it's bad enough what's happening. You don't need to like make shit up about it.
Totally.
Yeah.
It's like the world is
Totally.
changing, and it's like it is changing, and there is like climate change happening, and it's like you don't need to like sensationalize it as a news story. You can tell us the truth, and it's still a fucking bad situation.
yeah, I could just be honest. It does feel
which
like
I can respect.
it's
yeah, basically
I
it.
mean, it's
And
in
that's
the
what
media's
that's basically
nature to sensationalize things in order to make it.
Have you guys noticed that?
Well, like
Entertaining.
COVID's over, so what the fuck else do they got? They got to focus on something.
Well, they'll
the
find
climate
something.
lockdowns, they're coming,
They'll-
boys.
They'll find something. It's always one thing or.
Have you guys noticed that everything's
I'll
a
bleep
breaking
it.
story?
It's okay.
Everything's a breaking story now. It never used to be like that, but everything is a breaking story.
I heard this breaking story. Did you guys see
abuse
this?
that term?
Did you see this on Google News? Because it came up on my feed. Madonna, she shocked her audience by baring her breasts during a performance. Can
Whoa.
you believe that?
That's awesome.
How do we find that?
Can you
Yeah.
believe Madonna
How do we find
That's
it?
disgusting.
bared
Where?
her breasts?
Where?
Where did you find
Where?
that? Where is that
I know.
posted?
What website is this on?
Yeah.
Anyway,
The,
How is that even news?
Exactly. Thank
she
you,
just
John.
went through.
Thank you.
She just went through the surgeries to
She's
make
done
her
it so-
face look younger in a
She's
crazy
done it like
way.
10 times on late night talk
Right?
shows alone, I think, over the 90s and the 2000s. I
Well,
mean, it's not news.
Chick needs. She knows how to stay relevant.
They wouldn't have shocked anybody.
It reminds me of the response Amanda Palmer made to the Daily Mail photographing her bare breast and talking about it as if it was news instead of covering her performance. She had an amazing response. I'm sure
Amanda Palmer is very cool.
Chris has heard it.
Who's Amanda Palmer? Just before.
Yeah, give us
Amanda
a-
Palmer is an artist. She's a musician. She is indie, so she funds her music through Patreon.
Okay,
She has an avid following. She is a very cool human being and does cool shit all the time.
Someone got a picture of her breasts.
She's
Well-
kind of a performance artist as well. So she's not
Yeah.
just it's not she was in the Dresden Dolls, maybe for the Dresden Dolls, and then she has solo material.
Okay.
But she's also kind of a performance artist. Like she's a
Okay.
full artist, like through and through.
Sure.
Yeah. And she did a response to this like tabloid kind of covering the fact that her breast came undone, and she was like, it was a whole song. You guys should listen. It's really funny. But she said if you had Googled my tits in advance, you'd find that your photo was hardly exclusive.
And what? That's good. That's a good line.
Right.
What song is that?
It's called Dear Daily Mail. You can find it
Yeah.
on YouTube. It was
Oh,
a
yeah.
one-time performance she did. She didn't record it.
Right.
Yeah. And at the end, she says, it feels like my breasts are currently trying to escape this kimono. And then she takes off her kimono and she's butt naked on stage.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I gotta check that
Yes.
out. I want to see her naked.
What sites can we find those?
She was
on?
married. She's
Which
married to Neil
website is it?
Gaiman.
Which one?
Who's Neil Heyman?
Neil Gaiman,
Oh, like the comic book
the
artist?
author.
Right. Well, I totally know who that
What
is.
about this? Did you guys see this trailer for this movie that's supposed to come out, but now it might not? But it's called Karen. Have you seen this?
Oh no, that sounds dope.
It's like a black family moves into a neighborhood. This is 100% serious. And they meet their new neighbor, and it's like a lady named Karen. And she's like, listen, you'd have to take your garbage cans in as soon as the garbage truck leaves. Okay? And they start getting creeped out and shit. And the whole, it's not supposed to be funny.
It
sounds fucking
it
dope.
sounds
It's
like,
supposed to be
it
a
sounds like I
terror.
really want to watch it because
Yeah. It
It'll
sounds
be-
like this is going to make millions.
it'll be like it'll be not as scary as they hoped and a lot funnier than they didn't want it to
Honestly,
be.
I watched, it's too bad we can't watch the trailer right now, but it looks like one of those college humor videos.
Right. Yeah.
To be complete. It's so over the top.
It'll
the fact her name's Karen and she's a white lady.
It'll do so well.
She goes
I
over
wanna
to
watch it
dinner
already.
to their house and she's like, well, see you slaving away in the kitchen.
Jesus Christ.
And it's like, all right.
Oh
guys.
boy. Yeah.
I want to
Well,
know Karen's backstory.
They're laying it on a little thick. She'll
Karen,
somehow
well,
be
she's
the.
a Confederate.
Oh, she's a
That's in
Confederate.
the trailer too.
Is it?
It's all in the trailer.
That's in. Oh, so
I'm
it's like
convinced it's not real, but I've
it's-
been told it's a very real.
It's not subtle in its.
I mean, Sharknado is real, so that doesn't
yeah.
surprise
That's
me
true.
that Karen's
Yeah, I was gonna
No,
say
they-
snakes on a plane. Like, oh, snakes on when snakes on a plane came out, I was like,
Everybody knew that
what
was a
is
joke.
wrong with the world nowadays? And I saw it, and it was fucking dope.
Yeah.
I was like, this movie's sweet. Why would I not like this?
That's the first time when we heard about "Dude, Where's My Car?" It was the same feeling. I was like 13 years old, and I was like,
society's
"The world
dead.
is falling apart. Look at the movies they put out these days." And then we saw "Dude, Where's My
That's
Car?" And it was
fucking
like,
hilarious,
this might
dude.
be funnier than Bill and Ted's.
I think it's better
that
than
was
Bill
a
and Ted.
really funny movie.
I'm
It's
going
a
on
really
record
funny movie.
right now. I think that Dude, Where's My Car is funnier than Bill and Ted.
More loud.
and
I
as
agree.
fun of an adventure.
You will laugh out loud more with that movie.
Yes.
Bill and Ted is. I wouldn't say it's a worse movie. I like that movie a lot, but it's kind of different kind
Dude,
of.
people are like,
movie.
what? No, those guys are fucking stupid. Dude, where's my car? It's like, yeah,
They're
dude, Bill and Ted are stupid.
delightfully.
dude.
Oh yeah, they're also really dumb.
You know what I don't want to see? Someone who isn't stupid.
Yeah, I like seeing dumb
Some
dudes.
smart guy making me feel bad about myself.
Some egghead.
Who wants to see that?
Can I add something? Can I add
Fuck's sakes.
something? Now that Bruno's not here, John Page
I'm here.
is the only person at this table that graduated high school.
really?
Excuse me.
Oh, you went back?
Did you go back?
I almost have an honors degree from UBC.
Did you?
Right.
Oh, right.
You know
Yeah.
what?
Okay.
They
Yeah.
got rid of honors.
I can
I
use
forgot about that.
I can use
They
the
got
word
rid of
phenomenology in a sentence.
Phenomenology. Okay.
Okay. So this is the line in the table.
All right, whatever.
You
You're on that side
smart-ass
of the
people.
table, and we're on
We'll
this side
stay
of the table.
over here
Often we
Yeah, you
on
stay
our
over there.
grade 10 education
You know what?
side.
The funny
I'm
thing
feeling-
is that every time this has come up, we've been conveniently separated down the middle of the table every single time.
well, the three of us sit
We
next to
always
each
sit
other.
together.
Right, we
so-
sit together. We,
It's always
we're-
easy.
That's true. All right, don't poke holes in what I do.
Yeah, sorry about that, babe. I kind of forgot.
That's okay.
But
Yeah.
you know, I'm feeling better too. Like if my daughter doesn't do well in school, I'm feeling better about it because, for example, they removed the honor programs at least in the Vancouver school district,
Mhm.
and I think as many of these things do, like other school districts are soon to follow, and so. Now, if you have like a really smart kid who's really good at physics and math and science or language or arts, whatever it is,
It doesn't
whatever
matter.
offers an honors program, those honor programs are canceled because it's a good way of equalizing the kids who don't get into them. So like,
Yeah,
so
that's the
to
good sign
e-
for society.
in order to equalize the outcome, you actually keep down the smart kids. That's what the Vancouver School Board is doing.
It doesn't sound good.
I'm sorry, I came with so many serious topics, everyone.
Well, we can put them all together in a clip, and they'll be like, "What's going on with the podcast?" And it'll just be you slamming your drink down and you ranting about the government and weather, and then it'll be a good clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okie dokie. So, does anybody have a segment before I get to mine?
You have one,
Could you go ahead? Maybe I'd like mine. I'd like mine to close it out.
right? That's a good closer, probably. I was just gonna look at my phone for the notes that I make throughout the week.
Well,
Do you have something?
while I'm here, do you
What's-
guys have any questions about something I could answer?
Oh, about sex work.
Sexually.
Yeah. This is
Uh,
a unique
I don't have
opportunity.
necessarily a question, but I do have a comment.
Yeah,
My mother was a sex worker for a long time
that's amazing.
and might still be. I don't know.
It's hard.
she's
It's a
like
hard profession to
65 or
leave
whatever.
because it's very lucrative. It's hard work. Sex work. Okay, sex work is work. Sex work is hard work. It should be legal globally. I'm glad I feel very privileged that it's legal where I live, at least on my part.
Could you
Yeah, that
explain?
was a
Could you
more
explain
recent-
how the laws
That
work
was a more
around that?
recent development, right? I mean, it was like
It's-
not super recent,
It
but in
was
the
a
last few years.
It was a few years ago. It legalized I can sell sex privately. I can't publicly solicit.
It was still illegal for the Johns.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's still illegal to purchase. So yeah.
Illegal to purchase.
Yes.
What about this thing that, you hear so much about, which is like, if you film the act, then it's fully legal.
No, you need to get lots of permits for pornography, man. Lots of permits.
How much do they cost?
Probably a shitload. Fucking
Permits
Bureaucracy
are, permits
sucks
are
balls.
usually a lot.
But you, even if you could get those permits, you couldn't get a permit for not filming the encounter.
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of laws regarding.
But is that a
pornography.
thing? Is that a thing here? Also, I was asking Chloe.
Yeah, sorry.
I mean, I'm not like, I haven't delved too deep. Basically, all I need to
Has
know
anyone ever
is-
done like? Has anyone ever been like, let's film this, or
Oh yeah,
we
all
need
the time.
we need to film this?
Does it cost
Right.
extra?
No, yeah, it costs extra to film. I generally don't agree because I don't want my face in it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because I do have outside pursuits.
Yeah.
This isn't my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have introduced you as Chloe, who is one semester away from getting a degree at UBC and also a skort. Instead of the way we
Yeah.
introduced you, that was pretty disrespectful. and I'm
No,
sorry.
no, that's okay.
Wow, you know.
That's who I am here. I came here to talk about that.
Yeah. Also a woodworker. So,
Yeah.
Like a
Do you whittle?
like a woodworker.
yeah, Chloe.
I'm gonna clip that out.
Best guest of all time.
It was a surprise. Yeah, it was a surprise. I wasn't going to come by, but yeah.
Yeah. Do we take a look at my notes?
Yep. Yeah. Does anybody else have any? Did I have a question for you earlier that you remember? I smoked a little bit of weed.
I was just gonna comment. This is the last thing I'll say for the whole podcast, but I think last time I came here, I smelled a little bit like Thort Felch.
I don't know what that
What's
means.
the
What the hell is
definition of that?
You can look it up, but I'm sorry.
Right.
I'm
meow.
sorry.
Well,
Am I
you
looking it up right? Meow.
Smelled like.
I felt like I smelled that bad.
Can you give me a spelling
I didn't
on
even
that?
notice at all.
I didn't know.
Is that like a
that.
Lord of the
Bad.
Rings
Do I
reference?
spell it phonetically?
Is that a Lord of the Rings reference?
It's two
Tyler?
words.
Thort Felch.
A Thort Felch.
I'm sweating
is
my
what
ass off, boys.
Yeah, it's
It looks
full
like
on
there
in here
aren't many
now.
great matches for your search.
This is a good pod we're having here.
I'm enjoying
boys.
it. Yeah.
What about my
Just start with Thort.
my Thort?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about my
TH
apple pie
word.
story?
Oh, your apple. Yeah, tell us the apple pie story.
A pussy that has been bored out so long and hard over the years that it more resembles a humid, moist cave than a vagina. That's what a thort is?
And then Felch.
Ouch.
It sounds like a lot of definition for how you smell.
To suck semen from the vagina or anus.
Yes.
Ew.
I can't picture.
That's how I felt.
That's what you smelled like?
That's what I think I smelled
I
like.
honestly have no idea. Have no frame of reference to know what
That
that
is
smells
definitely extra.
You know, you're
I
kind
thought I
of.
was gonna get. I thought I was gonna get away with just saying that and we'd move on, but
It was too.
we had
No,
a
no.
fact checker, Chris.
Right.
That's true. We don't fact check
we
here.
Don't fact
I
check
wasn't
here.
fact checking.
against the
I was
rules.
looking up a definition.
That's close
yeah.
enough.
It's how I gain understanding of
Yeah.
situations.
We don't
That's-
do, we don't
that's a
do
good
that
point.
either. I don't
All
think.
right.
No.
So why don't you tell us a funny story
Apple pie.
about work?
Oh,
a skort,
okay.
a skort stories because they're short skort stories.
Okay.
Short stories.
So one of the most surprising things to me is how common armpit fetishes are.
Really?
Can we see your armpits?
What?
Can you show them to the
So
camera?
they want in on your.
I just got turned
armpit.
on a little, but
Pretty
what about,
good.
Is compared to feet?
No,
More or
feet.
less?
No, so feet are very
are more.
common, but I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, that's,
Oh,
we
that's
all,
something
we all
I knew.
know about that.
I see.
We all
We
know
know.
about that.
Surprised
I was
by the-
surprised by the
I see.
armpit fetishes, and they don't tell you about it. They just lick your armpit.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
this happened to me
How do you
recently.
not laugh, dude?
I do. I try
Tickles,
hard
right?
because they're down there and I'm up with my face looking up there and I'm trying, like I'm
They're
like,
good
biting
armpits.
my lips,
Right.
trying not to laugh.
Yeah.
When they're like it's like sexual for them, right? So they're like
Like they're really going at it.
right up my armpit.
Yeah.
It's like if they cared about you,
And this
they'd
has
be doing that
happened-
to your clitoris, but they're
If they
not.
cared.
It's to your armpit.
I prefer
How do you
the
feel
armpit
about that? How do you feel about
than my
a
clit.
customer licking your vagina?
I don't like it.
Yeah.
But that's
It's-
like very personal.
That's intimate.
It's very intimate. And I also don't like it's like the spit, your saliva from your gross mouth is like up in me. And yeah, I get UTIs a lot and it
See
just
that.
doesn't help.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I prefer the armpit lickers.
So that's a good
Okay.
option for them.
If you, the camera got your armpits good, so that's good.
This is
Okay.
all. These are tips how to be more liked in life.
Yeah. Don't
Yeah.
In
lick.
general, I think.
What about
Right?
food? Has anybody ever had like a fucking ham sandwich or anything?
Okay.
Yeah,
they put
funny,
it in?
funny food, not
Really?
sexy food. You got any of that?
So
Yeah.
this is an old story. This is from my younger years. I had a client come in and he was very shy, like almost like quivering shy. And he was like very quietly asked me if he could eat a McDonald's apple pie while I rode him.
People are interesting and funny.
Seems like a good way to choke.
And I said,
Okay.
Yeah.
And he said, yeah.
yeah, sure. Okay. And so I got on top of him and he just started eating it. And I kept going and he just ate it all.
Was
And
it just lukewarm?
at some point he got on top of me. So he was halfway through. He got on top of me.
Crumbs.
And I
coming
just,
down.
It's
that's just what I was
raining.
about to say. I remember the feeling of like the sugar coating, like dripping down onto my tits and like on my chest.
Was he staying fully torqued?
He came.
Right. So
Did he
you,
finish well,
He finished the apple pie and then he came. And then afterwards we were sitting on the edge of the bed and he was like, oh man, that's so embarrassing. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
you're like, yeah.
And
Wait.
and I was like, no, it's okay. We're all different. I was being nice
Yeah,
and
that's-
like
that's okay.
validating his fetish. And he was like, you're a very nice girl. Can we go for a coffee? He asked me on a date and then he
Oh
told
my
me about
God.
his therapist.
Right.
What
well,
a-
that's what you wanted.
what a sweetheart.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
What a sweetheart.
We were like, I don't know what just happened, but I'm gonna have to come up with a price for whatever just happened. Whatever I haven't. How much is it gonna be? I'm
Do you
gonna
know
have-
what? Those
Definitely
weird
cost plus materials.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cost plus materials.
plus
yeah.
materials.
those super weird encounters I don't mind doing for free because like not as an extra, just because it's such an experience and I actually do like seeing such a large portion of humanity.
Right.
No,
like
I get that aspect for sure. It's very interesting. You
Yeah.
see a bunch of different things.
And you
People are
see
willing
parts
to.
of people that they normally hide, even from their partners, because they feel
Yeah, 'cause-
free.
Yeah,
they feel
yeah.
like they're in a secret place.
Most people are not going to want that pie raining down on them during sex.
brought
and,
it.
and he knows that instinctually.
What
Do you
about
think Matt, there's probably there's a slight chance that wasn't, he just had it and he was like, oh, I want to eat this,
Right.
but I'm too full right now. And then he was like about to fuck and he's like, oh man, I really want to eat that apple pie.
Yeah,
he came
though."
prepared. He
You-
came
no, no,
prepared.
Maybe he
You-
just happened to
Yeah,
have
no.
it. You know, I
were
like
like,
that-
you were like, what kind of weird shit are you into? And he was like, I got this pie. and I'll eat it over top of you. While
My all-time favorite thing I've ever done, though, for money.
this podcast?
No, I shit on a guy's face once.
No
Oh.
shit.
I
Yeah.
did.
Oh,
I got
God.
paid to do
Fucking
it.
A.
And it was like I was on this fitness diet. I had eaten a bunch of meat. I had just had like this frap from Starbucks. And then I went and I sat and it was in a dungeon and it was like it had this
Dungeon?
yeah, it was like a BDSM dungeon.
oh, like a real dungeon.
Holy shit.
And it
yeah.
had a toilet seat that was made for this. It was a human toilet seat.
Oh,
This is
nice.
I've seen
It's
that.
a
Nice,
standard
nice.
staple in a BDSM dungeon.
Sure.
And I sat right on it and his face was underneath and I took the most like it was almost like a huge dry dump like right on his face.
Oh, it's dry.
It
That's
was a
good.
little bit
That's
dry
nice.
because it was like I had eaten a
Yeah.
bunch of meat and
Yeah.
it fell on his
Yeah.
face and like rolled off. I did kind of hope for a splat, but I didn't get it.
Is this something you actually had to like plan out in advance?
How much
Oh,
did you get
I
paid
came
for?
full. I came
Was
full.
he wearing nose plugs?
I got paid $300 for that.
Nose plugs?
No, he had his mouth
$300
open too.
just to poo
Mouth
on the face.
open.
Yes, I
Fucking
showed
A.
up. I put my feet. I like had to rest my feet on him while he was like being with his dom because he had a regular dominatrix, and she invited me to do it. And then I went and sat on him, and then I could leave after.
Fucking A.
You know, if you,
That's a
I
good
wonder,
story.
it's like I think about sometimes, like, you know, when you're at work, when you have like a normal job, when you go to the bathroom and you're shitting, you get paid to do it, right? And I've thought about that. It's like, I'm getting paid to shit right now.
I've seen
And
it
I
written in
wonder,
that
I wonder
house.
how many shits it takes while I'm working for me to take $300.
To ever measure up.
And I'm gonna pull my calculator out. So a work shit, you pull out your phone. Let's call it.
Listen, in the meantime, while you're adding that up, I just want to ask. So you're talking about like BDSM places and
Mhm.
toilet faces and gimps, right? Gimps are a big
Mhm.
thing. And I've heard a rumor that gimps like to go inside septic tanks. Have you ever heard of this?
I have not. I've only.
Okay.
I've.
Okay.
I've.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I've met people that like to do some pretty wacky shit. Some of it is just disturbing.
Like I heard this on a different podcast. It was like some family lost their gimp and they didn't know where to find it.
Where'd it go?
And,
Yeah,
and they were asking around, and one of their friends was like, "Listen, like, do you have a septic tank on your property?" And they're like, "Actually, yeah, we do." And they're like, "Go look down there, dude." And they were like, "Yeah, oh, we found him."
That doesn't surprise me.
That sounds kind of crazy.
It's like if you don't-
that
if
gimp
you don't
was so
actually-
immersed into the gimp life that they had to find a
You
septic
got to keep
tank
track
to-
of them, or they'll apparently
they'll escape, but they won't go home.
they'll end up in your.
I think if you think of
Septic
any
tank.
action or behavior, it's been done at least once.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like rule 32 of the internet. There's porn of it.
I enjoy there
Yeah.
are still people these days who you can tell stories about. Oh, I've seen this type of porn and that type of porn, and they're like, that exists. Oh my god! And
Yeah.
you're like, okay, this is
course
going to
it
get fun.
does.
I'm going to
Yeah.
tell you about it much more now.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Just okay. Here's one. What is it like? Chicks with high heels on who just crush insects under the heel.
One
Really?
time, a guy, oh my God, I only talked to this guy on the phone. I did not like agree to see him because he asked me to, he was like, how do you feel about bugs? And I was like, I don't like them. They're
My
they're
God.
they're creepy. Also, what kind of bugs? And he was like, oh, beetles, spiders. He listed a bunch of bugs, and I was like, yeah, that's creepy. And he's like, well, you'd be wearing a suit, and I'm like, suit for what? And I'm like, I'm afraid of bugs. And he's like, well, that's what makes it fun.
What the fuck, dude?
That's
Oh.
what makes it fun.
I don't know what he wanted me to do. I'm
that's gonna be
assuming
a
put
no.
on a
So
suit.
He's into like you crushing bugs, but he's also into the like watching you be fearful.
Be afraid of there being
Yeah, it
bugs
doesn't sound
on
like
me.
fucked up.
necessarily it was about the crushing. Maybe it was just
Pretty
you being
fucked up.
terrified.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
I
fucked
did
up.
not agree
Yeah,
to see
yeah. You're like
him.
that doesn't sound great. I'm not going to do that one.
Yeah. And also if you get off on fear, where else is this going? You know?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
That's
like
a
I'd
good-
love to go to
good
your house,
call.
Mr.
Yeah.
Serial Killer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't start agreeing to anything.
That's a
I'm
good
not. I'm
call.
going to hang up and not call the police now.
So aside from say bugs, what other like what? Aside from say bug crushing or anything to do with bugs, what are some other boundaries that you've
That I say no
Yeah,
to?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot more of these like things I had to set boundaries with when I was younger, when I was a teenager, when I first started. Now I found a pretty good like niche in finding high quality, high paying clients. But when I was younger, it was a lot less safe. I was a lot more stupid. And I approached work a lot more emotionally, and I used Craigslist to advertise. And I would get calls at, the middle of the night being like, can I come pick you up in my van on this corner?
Hmm.
And I was so mentally ill at the time that I would agree a lot of the time. And I'm really surprised I'm alive.
Mhm.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good scenario at
That's
all.
pretty
Yeah.
intense. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a boundary.
That's a
very strong
boundary.
boundary
Is
now, yeah.
Vans
Yeah,
in the middle
Vans.
of the night.
On a corner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Also, I won't, in my private life, it's different, but I will not do like pro submission. So I won't see, I will do pro dom. I will not be like a pro sub. So
Right.
with a
Sense.
guy that wants to pay me to dominate me, that's not, they
Yeah, that
usually,
also sounds risky. They can get out of hand.
well, yeah.
right?
And it usually tells me that they have like some kind of like ego trip going on and I need to tread lightly with them because
Sure.
they
Yeah,
can be dangerous.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they'll, yeah.
I've
Sure,
had
there's
I've
other
had
stories.
stalkers and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Most
Anyways.
I was gonna ask another question.
Yeah.
Criers, is that a thing?
I've had guys they haven't like burst into tears, but like be emotional when they want like I had one guy in particular, he like sat on the edge of the bed and I was like starting to initiate. I have a whole thing I go through because a lot of these guys are nervous and so
boom.
and so I like will hug them and
Word.
kiss them and start like, rubbing them, whatever, just to make them feel more comfortable. And he like stopped me. He's like, no, he's like, I really, just by the way you write in your ad, I really, he was basically asking me out and he wanted to have a relationship.
Fucking nerd.
Yeah.
Wait a second. How did you guys meet?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
This-
and then when I turned him down, he, because he seriously wanted to have a relationship with me, even though this was the first time
He's
we
like,
had
I can
met.
pay you for that, right? How much is that?
I feel bad for that dude.
Can I pay you to be
and
my wife?
They're weird, sad. They're very, it's a very desperate and sad thing to do to like see somebody's ad and like think that it's like, I'm going to ask that person out. That's like,
Yeah, that's pretty
Right.
intense.
Yeah, well, because it's like I respond, right? So it's like a female is responding to you, giving you attention,
Yeah.
being nice to you, smiling, laughing at your jokes. It's like I can imagine there's a lot of delusional men.
That happens that some men never get that at all.
Yeah.
Men
Their whole
don't. We
life,
don't get
right?
it that much. We don't get it. That
Well,
much.
if your
even
mother,
some men never.
if your
right?
mother died or she was a cunt, then definitely not.
Right.
Well, in general, it's like,
Like,
you know,
I have a good relationship with my mom.
Yeah,
so,
me too.
I feel
She's great.
good about myself.
yeah. I mean,
Just saying.
it's not.
Yeah.
You don't get complimented that much if you're a dude. I find.
Fuck no.
And it's like that's fine, but
Oh, yeah.
but I get it. It's like when you get like positive reinforcements. Like I was recently single, and I was seeing this girl. And she offered me a massage. She was like, "Oh, I'll give you like a shoulder rub. Oh, you're in pain? I'll give you a shoulder rub." And I remember it's like I was so fucking touched that somebody would be willing to do that for me that I almost cried. Like I was like, "You're willing to just do something nice for me?" To
For
be
me,
nice. It
yeah.
was like it really like I was like, hold on.
For me, it's a sandwich.
Oh, is that really- yeah. The hoagie.
No, that's sorry. Yeah, I know what you mean though.
Yeah.
Someone's really actually willing to do something nice for
Yeah.
you that doesn't like it has nothing to do with like anything good for them necessarily. It's nice. They just wanted to give you a massage. That's really nice.
Yeah, just the nice gesture was nice. I have a question. So every now and then when I'm getting a blowjob, I start laughing. Do you get a lot of laughers?
You do that.
Yeah.
You start
Chris,
laughing.
that's not a question.
How does that make you feel?
That's not a question.
That's not a question.
I'm a little confused.
Because we were talking about criers, so
I
I'm
was
talking about laughers.
I was more confused at this like the first few times,
yeah.
but now I know it's because
Is this
you
a
you
thing?
love what I'm doing a lot.
Yeah, so I'm like, woo!
No way. Is that how you do it?
No, it's
No.
like
That's
I'm just like
pretty cool.
Like
he
it's
like
like
giggles.
You're just like,
yeah,
It's
just
like
be
you're being tickled.
I'm having such a good time. I'm like, because in my head I'm like, yes, yes,
That's-
so
yes.
it's kind of like, shaw, dude, shaw.
This is worth every penny.
yeah. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Maybe I'll start doing that.
I laugh. Yeah, I laugh
Yeah, just
sometimes.
be
And
like-
it threw her off the first couple times. Like, am I doing something wrong? I was like, no, I'm just, life is so beautiful. I can't believe you're willing to do this for me.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's
It
funny.
is. Like that.
Yeah.
How's your shirt feeling? You cooling off?
No, I'm fucking sweating my fucking ass off. The shirt's been wet all fucking day long.
How long have we been going here?
I think that I would like to end it, but I'd like to end it on one thing. So if you guys want to add anything, now's your chance.
I have a note.
Okay, so you go ahead. Let's hear it.
My note says, life is stupid and we should all die.
I think people seem to think I am depressed because I just simply think that life is a fucking complete waste of time. And people are like, oh, you're just sad. It's like, no, it's a fucking waste of time. Like, who gives this shit? It's like, what do I got to do today?
It's really in there. I'm just saying, this is something I wrote down many days ago.
Saul,
today.
For those listening, Saul pointed out that because we brainstorm
There's
things,
a spelling area there.
and then you write down just stupid shit.
Life is stupid.
Life is stupid.
Life is stupid. It is fucking stupid.
We should all die.
It's a series of errands and chores and doing shit you don't want to fucking do all the time.
And then
if
one
you
day
work-
you're dead.
If you work really fucking hard, then you might have a couple fucking hours to watch TV before you go to bed to fucking do it all over again.
Yeah,
Fuck
it's
it.
pretty crazy. Yeah.
Who gives a shit? I'm not even
thinking about
sad.
that.
Don't think about it too hard if you know what's good for you. You know?
I don't think it's that different from, say, wild animals, which,
Well, that's true.
Sorry to
They-
make this
that's
last
true.
longer, but I had a encounter with a bear just 6 days ago.
Oh, cool. Let's
Right,
hear
that's
it.
cool.
And,
Yeah.
just walking dogs out with the old fucking dude that I walk dogs with. And we hear like a rustling in the bushes. That's all we do.
Just
That's
walk
cool.
it.
That's all we do is
I
walk
want to hear
dogs.
one. What's
Not-
his name?
There's no fucking involved. Nothing like
We
that.
just fucking
Yet.
They just
watch.
walk their dogs, man. What do you
Anyway,
think?
there's a
Problem?
rustling
I'm
in the
just
bushes,
clarifying.
and we're
Walk
like,
the
"Oh
dogs.
shit, it's right by us. Let's take a peek." So we like walk up to this little cliff, and we're like looking down in the bushes. Oh, see the rustling? Oh, look, there's a little bear in there. Oh, that's cool. Okay. So we're like chatting away, and then he's like, "Dude, there's a bear right behind you." And I'm like, "Oh fuck!" And it's like that close, and he's
Jesus.
just standing there. And he's like, "Hmm?"
And that's
And,
when you guys kissed.
And we just walked away casually. It happens. There's bear encounters here, but
Yeah.
it got me thinking. Like, it's like that bear was fucking confused, and here's why. Like, because its mom's dead, and now it's just gonna wander the forest by itself.
We talked about this recently.
Is that what we did last week?
No, it was off. It was on the
It was off,
podcast. We were
okay.
talking about how, like you're a bear and you fucking
Mother Nature does not take care of you.
Your dad bails because that's how it goes in nature, and then your mom dies when you're like 1, and then you're just lumber through the woods.
Your entire life is
your
living in
entire
the
life
forest,
trying to
eating
find
bugs.
food. You find a female, you fuck, and you never see her again. That's your whole existence.
At least they don't
Then you
have fucking
fucking die.
anxiety.
That's they have.
Apparently not.
They
'cause he
probably
came
don't
right
have.
up to me.
They have extreme fear when they need it, but yeah. Other than that, it's probably pretty
but
chill.
like an apex predator is like, like their life is a fucking grind. First of all, it's way
It's
shorter,
sketchy.
way shorter, which is great.
Yeah, that's better.
Big plus. But and it's also it's like you fuck, you eat, you sleep. It's like the necessities. It's like me. It's like I get fucking stressed out when I have a list of things to do. It's like, I have 8 things to do today. They're not hard things, but I'm thinking about I was thinking about this podcast, and it was stressing me the fuck out today.
That's
And
Yeah, that
what am I
happens.
doing? I'm hanging out with my friends.
It's supposed to make you feel looking forward to a release.
It's just when I have a bunch of things. It's just
when you're about to do it,
and that anxiety about like next week. It's like a bear don't have anxiety about next week, and a
Yeah.
bear might be hungry. Hopefully they can find food. And yes, of course, Mother Nature is unforgiving, and their lives are much less
freeze to
comfortable.
death. Much,
But comfort comes with this bullshit. You gotta do.
it's like remember we were watching that
Cool story, too.
Watching that movie,
was
The
a-
Gods Must Be Crazy. Like the whole point of that movie was to show
Oh.
the difference between.
That's
it was
right.
like it was focusing on this Kalahari Bushman tribe, and then like people in the city, and it was like. The Bushmen were spending their whole days with their family doing the basic necessities, but they were together the whole time, and it was like the contrast is that like especially for for guys and ladies, but guys, you go and you work the whole day, you don't even see your family the whole time, and then you come home and you see your family for like 2 hours while it's like hectic, and then you put them to bed, and like, just day after day of that,
Yeah.
it's like what all this technology and convenience really do for us, really in the end.
Yeah, it's kind of like driving us apart. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
Well, I feel Like we've been driven together, though.
Well, we're on this
it's nice to be
podcast.
back. It's nice to be with friends.
It is nice.
It's nice
And
that you came. Thank you for
I
coming.
really-
That's a good
Yeah.
guest.
I really
Good
enjoyed
guest.
Chloe here, and I really actually hope that you'll come back.
You know,
yeah,
just
we
come
could
back.
do another part.
because she was gonna like hang out, you know, and then Saul was like, "Hey, do you want to come on the pod?" And I was like, "Do you want to come on the pod?" And she was like, "Yeah, sure." And you nailed it. So nicely done.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Thanks,
joining us.
guys.
Yeah, that was really good.
Guys.
Yeah, most people who come on the pod haven't been
They're actually,
as fucking on point.
I'd like to have Reed
It's one of
back.
our best guests.
Reed-
like, or the best, maybe.
probably the best guest.
Probably
but-
the
Thank you.
best, to be
Do I get a
completely honest.
prize?
well, it's cool that you had.
Here you go. I think it broke off something.
It's cool that you're like an expert in something that's like a
could
job
probably
that
fit
is.
your
But it's
dick in
part
there.
of this operation, so keep it, and one day it might be worth something.
That's part of
You should
Handsome
probably
in the
leave it
Dark.
on the table.
Don't
Will
put
you
it
sign
down.
it?
Don't put it down.
Just take it.
Don't
I think
put it
that
down.
you should put it down.
Don't put
All right, we'll discuss that later.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on here. but-
Okay, so
Do you,
yeah, it was nice having a guest that was like, has a job that is unconventional, and we learned some facts about it, heard some funny stories. So cool.
I find it highly
Yeah.
interesting. I
I
really do.
Yeah, we'll have you back.
Yeah.
Squirt
We didn't even
stories
hear
will
any
be.
of John's stories from that realm of things, but next time maybe. We
Maybe.
will. Yeah, because I think maybe all of us have stories to share. Still, we didn't get all of it out tonight. We have more to
No.
tell. So
More to tell. So if you wanna smash that like button.
Smash that subscribe button.
smash it.
Yeah, I gotta throw that in
There's
there.
something to like and subscribe.
We have on Instagram. It's Handsome in the Dark Podcast at Handsome in the Dark Podcast, and we have an email address. It's handsomein-the-dark-podcast at Gmail.
You can go on
Right.
Google Podcasts.
We're getting a lot more hate mail than we're getting fucking fan mail.
I don't
Let
think
me
we
tell ya.
emphasize the fact that we have an email enough. We would love your hate mail, preferably just whatever mail. But
It would be nice
it's
if
going
it's
to be hate mail. I
even
get it.
neutral mail. Like
Neutral
you guys
mail.
you're getting a little bit better, I guess. Bring
Yeah.
Chloe back. Also, I'm surprised no one asked how much.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no one asked that
Well,
question.
there's lots
right.
of there's lots more information. There's lots more in the bank, and you can think on questions, and I'm happy to answer
Yeah,
them.
we could bring you
I
back.
don't actually often get a chance to talk about it, except for with
Is it cathartic for you?
it is a bit, because I don't get to talk to my family about it. My friends at school know, because I make a lot of work about it. I write essays about related topics, and my partner knows, but yeah, it's nice to talk about.
Yeah, it's nice to hear about. And so if you are a listener and you want to email questions, let's not try to be like greasy and shitty about it. Like try to email questions that are actually like interesting to handsomein-the-dark-podcast at gmail.com. We would be happy to compile them and ask Chloe the next time she's here.
Yeah, the next time she
So
comes
that'd be
back
cool.
on, yeah.
That would be a cool thing to do. So let's try that. I'd like to close out by apologizing. We started this podcast at a time where I was feeling fairly vulnerable, and in particularly the first episode, but in subsequent episodes, a lot of things have come out of my mouth, and I maybe wasn't aware that these were. I knew that it was being published, but it was like the weight of that wasn't really taken seriously by me, and I've said some things that I don't think I should have said, and that were hurtful. And I would like to issue an apology to Rebel Wilson, because I made it seem as though she were not desirable as a woman.
It was wrong.
And
It was
wrong of
it
you.
was wrong. And honestly, the point I was trying to make, not that this is an excuse, because what I did was wrong. Rebel Wilson is very fucking talented. She's really funny in her movies. She's a beautiful woman. All women are beautiful. But the point was that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is very fucking sexy.
He's just
Well,
so fantastic.
And for me, he's above. It's just like that was the point I was trying to make, which I failed at, and I said something hurtful. But what the joke I was trying to make, which did not land, was that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, I would rather have sex with than quite a few women in the world, even hot ones. That was my point.
Yeah, I think that was a very great apology.
And I'm
that-
sorry.
Yeah,
And I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I'm sure she would accept that apology.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Very
I think so.
heartfelt.
Actually, that was one of the best apologies I've ever heard.
Very
Yeah.
good.
Thanks, guys.
It's
Very good.
beautiful.
I
This is-
hope. Yeah.
Let's end this podcast with a serenity prayer.
All right.
No, let's not. do that.
Serenity now.
All right. Yeah, that's Hands from the Dark. Thanks for joining us, guys. Don't forget to check out our shit.
Hoochie mama!
Good night.
Right on, dude.
Some family lost their gimp and they didn't know where to find it.
Where'd he go? Life is stupid and we should all die.